people. It is Wednesday. It is Wednesday. It's Wednesday the 18th. That's it, of September. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And I'm one of your hosts for today, my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, Melanin Jam-packed.
That is right. Good morning, Brent. How are you?
Good morning. I am blessed and highly favored. How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Marx came in yesterday.
To record no behavior?
Yes.
Nice.
And he was quite peeved. One, he was supposed
What does
to...
peeved mean?
Annoyed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A little upset. Because, one, he was supposed to be in yesterday morning. He tried to, basically. But something to do with his car and blah, 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 whatever. But when he was listening to TDA, he heard Gina say that...
Gina say?
Huh?
Or when is the Monday's one?
Monday, yeah.
Okay.
When Gina was saying. And he was like, oh my goodness. She said that when Afrobeats came on, that's when the party started.
No, she didn't say it started. She said it just got livelier.
Yeah.
Which Afrobeat does do that.
Yeah, he was saying that was a bullface
But he
lie.
would say that though.
And he said
he's uncultured.
It was dance hall that made that particular
Where have we ever
shift
seen that happen before?
on the dance floor.
It's not a dance hall concert.
So he said he was going to call in, but then something about tiredness and whatnot. I said, look.
Well, then he didn't really want
You
to
missed your
defend it.
opportunity, mate.
He didn't really want to defend it then, did he?
No, he didn't.
So.
Anyway, how about you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm blessed, highly favoured.
Emmanuel?
Child of God.
Yeah, we thank God, man.
All right, lovely. Good morning, chat. Good morning, C91. Good morning, Davina. Good morning, Timmy. Good morning, TT. Good morning, Amy Snow Globe. Good morning, Ghana Greatness. Good morning, 24 Lou. Good morning, DCF Mook. Good morning, Pal Wal. Good morning, Dr. Amani. Good morning, Fernan. Pal Wal, I hope it is I see you on the 27th.
Why?
Because he tried to make the last one, but it was last minute.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah, he tried to ask if he can get on a guest list. I'm like, no, it's oversubscribed already. So hopefully I see you this time around. I see your names come through for the guest list. So I hope it is that you bring your cherry face. Dr. Mani, Fernan, good morning, Lauren, Louise. Good morning.
Actually, Lauren was there. Lauren Liu let us know.
She was where?
Did he get R&B?
Yes.
Unless you're gonna say he didn't, then I don't want to hear from you. I'm joking.
That's not how it works.
In my world, have you lived in my shoes?
God damn it.
Okay.
Good morning, Aquia, Mandy. Good morning, Izzy Bambino. Good morning, Aisha. Love that name. Good morning, Mother Booth. Good morning, Zero. Good morning, ONB. Good morning, Star Crew.
That's funny.
All right. That is all the mornings I have in me.
That's good. That's all the money you have in you.
Yes.
I have like 3 mornings to issue.
I got 3 mornings.
Back when we used to go to the office more, I had to get the bus to work yesterday.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
That's the story.
Do you know? Like, I don't care how this sounds. I literally don't care. But I typically get the train. Like, places I go to is train quick. The train has germs too. But those are germs that I'm more familiar with. I feel like the train is cleaned more since COVID than buses. I don't know how people would clean the buses. I know they don't. I don't have some scars when I was younger. But like one time I saw a person shit on a bus. Like, no, he actually stooped, he squatted and actually shat on the bus. Sorry, you're drinking water and whatnot. But like, so I'm scarred with buses. And I just think buses are just so grimy and dirty because it's all like, it's just, respectfully, you can easily afford a bus than you can a train. So,
Fair enough.
Sometimes, people that come in there, the hygiene on the train is not nice anyway. Especially during, that's why I love this remote working, because especially during like morning rush hour, some of you roll out of bed. I'm not gonna say what people. Some of you roll out of bed and just straight go onto public transport. Like I've seen like dandruff on people's. It's so nasty and so rude. Lauren, sorry, 1 second. Lauren says, Esther, you're the best, but Side Eye, the dancehall set was absolutely iconic. Oh, that's lovely. What is dancehall? Like, what kind of music is that? Give me a track.
Bashment.
Oh.
Good.
You're a mug. I'm only coughing because I was laughing too hard. Not because I regret what I said. Anyways, so yeah, there was something with the trains. I think one of the stations, something like must have been on caught fire or something like that. So going to work and coming back just ruined my entire day. Had to get the bus and whatnot. It was just crazy. And obviously, so whenever I'm on public transport, I position myself where I don't touch things. Like, I don't like touching things in general. I think we should live in a world where people don't have to shake handshakes. Like, I think we should just nod at each other. If I'm meeting somebody professionally, I don't know why I'm grabbing your hands. I don't know what you've just done. A lot of people go to the toilet and don't wash their hands. So I'm really anti-handshakes. Like, hate them. Hate them. Even when we have those events that we go to and people shake my hand, the first chance I get, I'm like, I hate it so much. Anyways, I had to hold off a day of life on the bus because it was doing too much. I had to get antibacterial wipe. Imagine me trying to get antibacterial. It was a whole thing. People were looking at me and shouting me, but I was thinking, sorry, what's doing you is not doing me. You can actually mind your damn business. That's what the hell you can do. Oh, yesterday honestly took me out. And I just realized my mood kind of shifted. I woke up so happy yesterday. But then by the time I got back home, my mood was just off and I was trying to trace it back. Like, what happened today? It was the bus. It was the bus. I don't even know how I got into the topic of the bus, you know. It was supposed to be something else, and I remembered my trauma from yesterday.
I think you said you got 3 hellos, 3 good mornings.
Yes, that's it. I was talking about going to the office. I can't say more than 3 hellos. Like, I just shut up now. Like, I can't do it. I have maximum 3 hellos in me. So whoever gets in, it's like a first one, first serve type situation. Because in the office, it's like morning. Ugh.
Well, what if you're on your way to where you have to sit, and there's like 10 people in front of you?
I'm gonna say good morning to everybody.
Morning.
No, I'm selective on my mornings. Because when I'm like, if I'm walking, like if I'm in public and I see someone, I smile, like, oh, morning. Like, I am that person. Thank the bus drivers. You people don't thank the bus drivers anymore. It's ridiculous. People don't do that anymore. Everyone came out, no one said thank you. I said thank you, sir. Anyways, yeah, I don't have many good mornings in me. I like a random good morning though. Like, I like giving people random compliments as well.
To be fair, people are. I remember the last time I went to the barbers. Yeah, it's like a Turkish shop. Let me not say it. It's a shop where the Turkish person is inside the shop, right?
It's a sexy barber.
No, not the barber.
Oh, okay.
No, I won't do that. I'm talking about.
They give a good white boy haircut, you know.
For the white boys.
Yeah. I've never seen them work on black.
No.
I know how that would work shape up wise.
Nah, it just
Exactly. Wouldn't. Yeah. It wouldn't.
So I've gone next door now, and I've gone to get my plantain and whatnot, and I've said good afternoon. I think it was afternoon by that time, yeah. And she's like, "Oh, nobody says good afternoon.
Nobody does."
Yeah.
Do you know what though? I think it does speak to the state of the country at the moment. Because I don't know if you've noticed, even when we're driving, people don't signal anymore. They don't. People just turn. And I just want to ram behind your car. It really, and it's like annoying because, like, they just stop randomly and just turn. And some of you turn as if you're carrying there's a baby, a newborn baby on your roof, and it cannot drop. Turn it to the road. Oh my gosh. So stuff like that is letting me know the state of where we live at the moment. It was so sad that there's a woman on the bus so the bus was taking forever to come, obviously because of the delays and whatever. I just thought, it's crazy though, like in this, like, London is so flipping useless. Because one thing doesn't work, it affects everything else. So there was like, the bus I needed to get did not come there's people that are waiting there for 25 minutes. I waited for 10 and it was irritating me because it said it was 1 minute away. And I'm just stumping through the station and whatnot. Only for me to wait 10 minutes. And there was a lady on there who was literally fuming because she was late to pick up her child and whatever. But she was foreign, but she was in a panic because she was scared that her child might have been kidnapped. And I was like, it's crazy because back in the day, like, even if you were late, like, it's safe enough. Like, you like, your child could meet you halfway to the point of going home. When I tell you this one was having like an actual, like a breakdown, she was hysterical. Everyone was trying to come and we were like, no, it'll be fine. Like, we were like, if they haven't called you, it's because there's other parents that are late as well. Like, it was a whole, but she was literally in like panic when she was, I don't know where she was from, but she was foreign. And she's like trying to calm herself down. And then when she was gonna get to like, I'm like she was saying her son's name and like, I'm coming. Like, it was really, really sad. But it just let me know the state that we live in, where it's like people are scared to have like to not be there when they're meant to pick up their children because some of y'all just keep stealing kids.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was very, very sad though. Cause I saw it. I didn't understand why she was shouting because I was outside the bus. Because in the bus, I've never experienced this since I was in school either. When they closed the doors, talking about everyone made it. I said, oh my gosh. I said, this is the ghetto. This is the ghetto. This is not it at all. And then you know what's annoying is like when you're in situations like that, I was like, I should have driven. I should have just drove. Because my friend lives near where my office is. I could park her at her sometimes. I was like, I should have just driven. But I'm trying to get my steps in. What the hell? So when she was inside the bus, everyone could hear a shout, but I didn't know what it was. And when I got on the bus, and it's funny because the people were like trying to make snide comments. I was thinking, you never know that we don't actually know what's going on. But when I heard that, I was like, it's reasonable. Because people will be taking kids these days.
Yeah.
Very sad, man. Honestly, this world is getting scarier and scarier.
It's a damn shame. But why though? Like, what's happened?
I don't even know.
That makes you think that, or that makes the average parent now a bit more scared.
Sorry, I hate to bring it. I don't even hate to bring it. I'll bring it up. Did you guys talk about Hugh Edwards yesterday? And his little 6 months suspended sentence.
Yeah. Well, we just mentioned the headline, to be fair.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's stuff like that. I don't think society really cares about the things that's really happening to children like that. Like when kids go missing, they tell you, well, it has to be a certain hours before. Unless the kid goes viral online, I don't think they're really checking for the kids. Because sometimes I see police reports. Because like a page I follow that just posts like kids and out post them and stuff like that. But like sometimes they'll be like the child's been missing for a month. I'm like 1 month. And I haven't heard anything about this child at all. So like, I just feel like there's just so much that happens. And I think because, like, unless something goes viral or is in the news, we don't really know. But within communities, people have these conversations. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like it's those conversations that happen within the community that's like got things fear-mongering and stuff.
You know, that's one of the reasons as to why it is that, I want New Black to pop off heavy.
Yeah.
Because if any of our kids...
Bro.
I don't know if I can hear you in there.
Is it me?
Oh, no. Say something again.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, maybe I can. It's not.
Maybe I can.
You just told me to turn it down.
No, I was doing this.
No, you're annoying because you did this. Everyone knows that means down. Then you put a finger up. But when you put a finger up, he already turned to what he was doing. So I just thought you have the day you deserve. Confusing the man. Who does this? What the hell? No, this is always to mute.
So what's up?
Up. Like, just up. Like, it's so dramatic. I saw it play out and I just thought, nah, I'm not gonna say anything. So I just let it happen. But go on, tell me back.
Yeah. You know when one of our children go missing, right?
God forbid.
God forbid.
Not ours in this room.
As in black children go missing.
Yeah,
just
black
say black
children.
children go missing.
Black
God
children.
forbid, obviously.
Yeah.
But it happens sometimes.
And then obviously we have an entire network of all these different shows, right? With different audiences and this, that, and X. But we can basically start things trending on X immediately because on all of our shows we'll just put out a bulletin, right?
Yeah.
And we say, all right, cool, this is the hashtag, this is the person's face, put this on X.
Yeah.
And everybody basically use that hashtag.
Yeah.
And then we will basically get
We'll find the kids.
100%.
Because people will step out and actually, like, you know how they're doing that, those little small towns where everyone gets a torch
Yep.
and a little lantern and they go and look for the children. That people will do that. I will flip and do that.
Yeah.
But it's so sad how like, and I'm sorry, there's too many black kids being missing, man. Too many black kids just showing up dead. I don't understand what's going on. Somebody you'll find them at the riverside. How they get there? How did they get there?
Sad.
Yeah,
It's very sad, man. So that woman's panic, I 100% understood it. But she was literally like, couldn't calm down. I had to give her a hug. I said, girl, it's fine. Don't worry. And you know I don't.
You touched her.
you know I don't really dishing her hugs. But I did because she was so like panicked.
Yeah.
And it was so heartbreaking. Because she was like, and nothing anyone was saying. Like even the guys were like, no, trust me. The woman was like, I'm a teacher. Like this is the procedure. They were like, the man was like, they will not let your children go unless like you're there. Da, 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 da. And he was like, that's what teachers get paid for. I said, typical Brit answer. But like, it was very sad, man. But it just says about the state of just how it is now. Because really and truly, your kids, like back in the day, your kids could meet you halfway because they know the way home. So you could just say to them, like, I'm on my way. meet me down the road. By the time you get off the bus, they're right there, you get on the next one. Do you get what I mean? Sad, man. Sad scenes. Anyway, there's a lot of sad things to talk about today, unfortunately.
Imagine this guy got a slap on the wrist.
Who?
It's because he has all the people in the network that he said he's going to snitch on.
Think so?
Edwards.
You think that's the
6
reason?
months suspended. Do you know what? 6 months, and then it's 2 years suspended
Yeah.
for having indecent pictures, or because they went in there talking about he's got bad mental health.
Joke thing.
Yeah, it's the ring that they don't want him to expose on it.
What happened to Philip Schofield anyway? What's that one situation?
That guy is still out here just...
Is it got a
I was going
case?
to say something crazy.
Is there a case? I don't think there's a case
it's
against
nothing.
him.
It's nothing.
So he
It's
just
his
got
brother.
fired.
Yeah, he just gave up his brother and he's free. Because remember, his brother, got same sort of thing.
So it's just in the family. It's
just
family
a,
of pedophiles.
Just a pedo family.
Disgusting. It's so mad, you know. It's so mad.
Sad.
Anyway, we're going to talk about Diddy today. And I'm so happy. It's a great day. It's a great day for victims and survivors all around the world, man. Ugh.
All right, before we go on, your besties are getting dragged, innit?
Who? James and Fuhad.
Yeah, man.
Listen.
America's got them.
Oh,
America's got them.
first of all, I want to know what the white women. I don't want to know the white women's business in there. That's what my thing. And just so funny because there was a girl that was dragging them. Yeah. Then there was a white woman whose video went viral. She said, first of all. She said, I don't care how this sounds, but I want to hear no white woman and her little 2 pence. Because when it's time for you to kickstart your Carenteers, it's loaded and locked. So first of all, but do you know what it is? This is what I said on Monday when I said they can never make me hate them. But then I quickly added the T's and C's, which is that within reason, because people will disappoint you. I just think that I've always been consistent with my mindset on public lashings. If you go back and listen to the archive of No Shade, it is right there. I've always been consistent. And I don't think that when people call them out, they call them out to actually highlight the wrong that's been done and then have a productive conversation of how it is that we can move forward and you never repeat this offense. People just want to see your downfall. That's my theory. That's what I'm sticking to. I'm not excusing what it is that they've done. Absolutely not. I think black women are the easiest people to disrespect in the world. People consistently disrespect black women. That's why you have people dressing up as well when they're doing these very unfunny, very stupid comedy, and they're wearing wigs and they're wearing rappers and they're wearing female clothes and they think it makes them funny. No, you're not funny. Far from. But I think black women are the easiest to disrespect, and I think that they've just done, unfortunately, what a lot of people do anyway. White men do, black men do, they've just done what society typically does. But I do think that my issue is that if you call somebody out for doing something and they apologize, unless in the apologies they actually outrightly say F you, I don't think that we could all start analyzing and saying, they've apologized. I think when people apologize, is one or two things. You either want to accept the apology and watch their content, or what? 3. You either want to accept their apology and watch their content. You either want to accept their apology and just stop and watch their content, or you want to just discard it all. That's fine. I don't understand why it is that people want to scrutinize their apology. First of all, it'll be people that didn't watch them anyway in the first place. That's always the funniest part. You never watch these people. So I don't know why you got anything to say. Okay. So they've apologized. You're coming out to everyone is all of a sudden now is a body language expert. They're not looking in the camera. At this second, they're not doing it. At this second, they're not doing it. Okay, fair enough. They've apologized now. You don't accept the apology. Now you're scrutinizing them for the apology. So the boys did what the boys did. Them and their team decided to take down their first 100 episodes because you just keep going through the archive. People have a problem with that as well, which I find interesting because. So first of all, you're saying that these episodes were there and this is how they've been talking all blah blah blah. You've called them out now for how it is they spoke about black women and blah 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 blah. They've taken now episodes now that they think could potentially cause offense to black women to show they're sorry. But now you're cussing them for taking the episodes down. What do you want? Blood? Because when Ashley told you people to come and take it back in blood, you were cussing her too. What do people want? My thing is that when you call people out, like I'm not against calling people out for wrongs they've done, for the way they're speaking to me. I'm not against it at all. But we need to have productive conversations. It cannot just be a case of we cancel you and then what? What next? that doesn't educate the next person to understand why it is that what you said is harmful. And I understand as well for black women, this has been a tale from beginning of time. Because I've personally said many times on here, I'm not here to be educating people. If you ain't got the brain cells to know at your big ass age, then you just have the day you deserve. All the best to you. So I can understand the frustration of not wanting to continuously educate people. But there's people that don't mind educating. I don't know, man. I just don't think I just think that sometimes it's not as productive. And I think also as well, there's people that are always genuinely offended and they have a right to be. But sometimes the people that are just wanting to jump on the bandwagon and use this time to express how they've always felt about them, sometimes their voices then overpowers the people who are genuinely offended and who are actually expressing why it is this offensive to them. Also, just as a sidebar, I don't think Shits and Gigs audience is majority black people.
They got bare black women.
They got bare black women, but we need to think about the number of black women. Before
they got bare.
No, but before we get to the American side, black people are like, what, 3% of...
It's about globally?
No, of the UK.
It's not just the UK.
No, but
it blew up in America.
No, but I said before we touched the America part.
3.7.
In terms of 3.7. So I don't understand how the black women in the UK can be saying that they're the biggest audience. You're not. You've never been. That's statistically impossible. You weren't, especially because a lot of you anyway don't check for Shits and Gigs.
So I don't know if it is that the way you math that out, because the 3-point-something% millions.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And they have more than millions of people watching them.
Yeah.
Right? Easily,
Yeah.
a lot of those black women could represent 20,000.
But the thing is, I've seen, obviously I don't know every black woman in the UK, but I've never seen a lot of black women talking about, Shits and Gigs. When they announce their tours and stuff like that, when I'm going through the tweets and whatnot, it's more non-black people that are saying that. Me personally, as for me, I just don't think that their audience is majority black women. That's my honest truth. Because also some of the tweets I'm seeing people saying that I've always known they were this. So how can you be their audience if you've always known and always felt like they were full of shit? Like, how is that mathing? But obviously in the American side as well, that one I can appreciate. I can accept that because I'm not American and I don't know how they're really popping. Like, I'm not foot on ground to know how they're really popping, or boots on ground to know how they're really popping over there. But I don't think that majority of their audience is black. I have a theory for that, but they're gonna cook me, and I'm having a great week. So, you know.
I sometimes when it is we talk about these things and we say, you're asking for this, and then when you do this, then you're doing this. But is it the same people that we're basically going back to see if they've changed their mind on something? Or is it just you've seen another tweet from another person saying a particular thing?
No, but what do you mean? So say for example, someone said, they've said this, they haven't apologized. Sometimes I see from the same people though.
Okay, well,
because sometimes I see from the same people where it's like people have a thread.
So my thing was, the reason why I mentioned it is let's just say, because we have like 500 something episodes, right? And when it is we started, Emilio was a different man than he is now. Do you understand?
Boy,
I've changed.
you're still morphing.
So my question is, what do you think in the future?
Yeah.
TD is gonna get dragged for.
Everything.
That's the fun part of the question.
There's some things that I've already written a statement. My notes. I already got my screenshot.
So you got the draft.
A bit of razzle dazzle. I might put on a white background. There's definitely things to get dragged for. 100%.
100%.
Wait. Why are you saying 100% so loud?
Because it's him. It started with you. Listen, don't really do that to Mugs. Mugs.
Oh
check.
yeah, that's true.
First of all, me and Gina are black women. So we're safe. We're gonna get dragged. This is what it is. Yeah, our dragging is probably gonna be approximate. Like it's gonna to do with we didn't at the moment correct. Kind of like Jamie the Fool we're laughing. That's why I watch my laughs. Like, I watch my laughs. I watch my everything. Because when they come, if they come, God forbid they come, but I know how people's audiences work. I know how people move. I don't try on the low already on this platform. I'm not gonna say nothing, but I know who you are. Do you get what I mean? So I think they're different things. Like, I know, boy.
All right, and you Manuel. Obviously, you don't have a public presence, like a social media presence. So I don't know if it is UK at all. You'll still be going to the mosque and maybe like heading the books and whatnot. You wouldn't see any of this, right? But do you know that you've said a lot of crap back in the day? And when I say back in the day, it's crazy to say that, right? But it's 500 plus episodes.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't even know what to say to you, man. Because at the end of the day, it's what it is, man.
Maybe it's up to me to basically look to find the counter to anything that they look to pull out. So I'll be like, all right, that was then. It's 20 days later. And then you see that I've changed. I've now firmly around my ways.
What are you doing?
It's all entertainment, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, some of them you used to say that back. That's a new phenomenon. It's entertainment. That's a new phenomenon.
Because if we just stick to just like reporting the news and just commenting on the news, that was pretty much safe, right? Unless it is the opinions bleed into.
There were some sound effects in some of them.
Yeah.
There were some facial expressions. There were some sound effects.
It's a camera switching as well, isn't it?
It's you. It's you, man. Because you just sometimes you don't have to put the camera on the person that said it.
Yeah.
Because that will call into question when the clip is pulled up.
Yeah.
It call into question whose voice that really was.
And they don't like laughter also.
They don't like laughter. Or
because
smiling. Or smirking.
Yeah. Because it's basically saying
Absolutely. But I mean, I hope the guys learn. I mean, all in all, I hope they learn. But I think they will definitely learn from it. I just think sometimes it's tricky to know how it is that someone can then move forward. And I think the reason why I don't like the play by play of these cookings and stuff is because there's never any progressive conversation. So what tends to happen is that people then go quiet and they just come back as if nothing happened. And I don't think they've actually learned anything because sometimes we get a recook. Do you mean we get another cooking, but that just shows that they never learned They never learned how harmful what they did in the first place was. That's why we get to another point again where we then find there's something else they've done that they then cooked for. Do you know what I mean? We've seen that there's been UK podcasts like that where they get cooked for something. People, they apologize, people scrutinize their apology, whatever. Then they go quiet. Then they quietly come back again. And then after everyone's comfortable, everyone's having a key time, something else happens. Then we repeat. So I feel like there needs to be a different strategy to how it is that people are cooked and how it is that people are flogged for the things that they've done. And that way we can actually have more, just more progressive conversations. And then also so we can just prevent this. We can actually just prevent this. Because really and truly, if we deep it, their podcast is relatively new to a lot of other podcasts that have been cooked in the past, right? They should have learned from them. Some people crawl so you can walk.
But sometimes you just, like in that situation, I saw the clip of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like for some of these guys, obviously I don't know, is it James and Fuhad?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of them, I guess, are kind of like comedians or see themselves as comedians. Innit?
Yeah.
And in that arena, nothing's kind of off limits. So I think sometimes they might feel like,
I don't know if they're comedians, my friend.
No, I'm not saying them two, but I'm just saying people that sometimes
Andrew Schultz claims he's a comedian.
Yeah, Schultz.
Andrew Schultz is a comedian.
Yeah.
No, he claims he is because my thing is even like with all that stuff about jokes here, it is possible to make jokes without offending people. I don't know why people always act as though like the only way something can be funny is if you offend somebody. There are plenty of comedians that are successful, that are great, that are genuinely funny, that don't have to offend people. There are people that I know that are very funny that don't have to. It's not at the cost of embarrassing somebody else. So I just don't understand things. Obviously, the apology they gave was that when they were there, they felt uncomfortable, and there was a lot of things that they said, past. And actually, there was another clip about when Andrew was talking about Nigeria and Nigerians being called scammers and whatever, and he was generalizing about some parts, and Fuhad was like, no, according to you. Like, he was making it clear that, no, that's what you are the one saying that. You are the one saying that. And in their apology, they said that, there was things that they were like, past, or we don't want to talk about that. Or so there was a lot of that where they were just like, no, whatever. But I think even with them, they did enjoy that experience anyway. So they're basically trying to say just like, just spoken up, but they felt awkward in that moment and stuff like that. And I think, Like I give grace. I can give grace for that because I know how I've felt in certain situations where I've just feel awkward and looking at it from the outside, you would think I'm a participant, but actually the way I'm feeling, I'm squirming. Do you get what I'm trying to say? There's that, but I just think that personally, I just think there needs to be more productive conversations, like seeing just a mix of some of you are reaching with your analysis, and that's what I don't like as well. People just start to do this analysis talks, and there was one I can't remember what the girl was even saying. Just a bunch of bullshit, in my opinion. Bunch of stupidness. Just a bunch of stupidness. Yes, she was talking about how this was to do with the whole baddies thing, because the baddies one, that's initially when I actually reported it. That one I didn't understand.
What happened? What was that one?
Basically, they said that there were no baddies in Atlanta, and people were basically saying, "Oh, you guys clearly because you're looking for black, white women." That one I didn't understand the cooking for that.
That's serious.
But it was after that, then they found the clips of the Andrew Schultz when they were actually talking about black women. That one I'm here for. I'm here for the conversation and apology for that one. But them not finding baddies in Atlanta, attraction and beauty and stuff is subjective. If they didn't find baddies, they didn't find baddies. Like I don't understand that. And there was a girl that did a whole analysis on that. It irritated me, talking about they're ugly. They're not really the ones. That's why I don't like when people start lying. They're ugly.
So that baddies one, right? If I'm in, I've just come from Atlanta. I'm on a podcast that basically talks about a place that I have no flipping business talking about.
Yeah.
And if I say something wild, and if they decide to basically be offended by that,
No, that's fine.
I can get cooked.
You can get cooked.
Because I opened my mouth and said there ain't no baddies in Atlanta.
Yeah, but it's not cancel worthy.
I don't think
But to me, as an outsider,
I don't think that was the part. I think it was let me just stitch this onto this now and see a pattern, a thread of, is it that you were looking for white girls?
No, but the thing is though, people were, the baddies thing, I think you can be offended by that if you're a baddie, if you're a baddie and you know it. But
Everybody's a baddie.
Not me, I'm child God. I was seeing a lot of cooking from that, and I don't think the cooking was justified because they didn't find baddies in Atlanta. Like, do you know how stupid that conversation is? Baddies. This is what we're doing this over. Baddies. What?
Yeah,
What's a baddie?
Didn't he say they were all clapped?
Well,
I mean, if Atlanteans, whatever you say, if Atlantans hear that and they want to be upset, let them be upset.
They can't
right?
be upset. I still think that you have too much time on your hands to be upset about that. If someone came to Nigeria and said, "Oh, there's no good-looking girls in Nigeria," or "There's no good-looking Nigerian girls," I promise you, I'm not losing a wink of sleep.
Wait.
I
Just imagine if Emmanuel sat here and said, "I just went to Peckham," and every girl in Peckham's clapped
On the day he went,
When I use that clip for content, what do you think is gonna happen to him?
Yeah, we finished.
but he's gonna get cooked. But,
Precisely.
But I think what it is, I'm projecting how I deal with things. Nobody can ever come to me and tell me there's no good look. All the girls from Nigeria are ugly, and I'm going to light a torch. Okay.
Wait a minute.
I'm not doing that.
No. If an American comes here, or if a Ghanaian comes here, let me put the camera in my own. If he sits here, if he sits here,
see how you fit to the Nigerian and Ghanaian scenario.
And he says, "Oh, Nigerian girls, they are so clapped." What are you doing immediately? You just, even if you're on your phone, you just do this.
I'm like, oh, really?
You go,
I'm like, okay.
And you start to cook.
Oh, really?
Don't do
But
that.
I'm not cooking him for that. Like,
Impossible you hear that and not say anything.
Okay.
Impossible
Okay.
you hear that line.
Okay.
Or a guest that comes on and the guest is sitting there.
Do you know how
All
many times I've
Nigerian
been?
girls are clapped.
Do you know how many times I've been around men talking about women and they're like, and they make the generalizing sweep statements of, "Oh, all girls want this, all girls want that." Do you think you know when there's certain battles I'm not fighting in this life? Like, are you aware of that? There's certain battles that are not worth my time. Of all the things I'm thinking about that's in my head right now, a random person telling me all Nigerian girls are clapped, I promise you, on the list of things on my plate, it doesn't even make it to the bottom of it. It doesn't even make it to the bottom of it. I'm not sitting here fighting. Like, in what world? First of all, when I know I wasn't there, you were saying all Nigerian. I wasn't there. If I was there, perhaps the results would be different. So why am I sitting there? Why would I sit there coming to fight a fight? That's your opinion.
All right, then you've offered me an opportunity to ask a question.
But even if
you
I'm
at the function,
there,
yes.
Brent, even if I'm there,
And there was this one girl with this brown hair. She was swanning around. The loudest in the party.
I am not fighting any fights that does not directly at me, as in you,
I just
Esther.
said the brown girl hair.
So if you call me ugly, is that what you're saying?
This is what the Ghanaian guest said.
Yeah, but don't be silly. That's different. If a Ghanaian guest comes in here and calls me ugly in my house, first of all, you gotta leave. Like, first of all, you gotta leave. First of all, you want to see ugly? I'll show you ugly in looks and character. Get out. That's the first thing. However, if he comes in and is like, I've never met a Nigerian girl that's beautiful, I promise you I'm not sitting here trying to prove my beauty to this man. I promise you I'm not doing that.
Would you be sour towards him going forward?
I just think he has no class, he has no taste. I might tell him, I'll probably tell him, to be fair.
He
You
probably
have, no,
will.
you have no class, you have no taste. But I'm not like cooking, I'm not saying, I bet you like white girls. I bet you like Ghanaian girls. I bet you like Kenyan
No, that's
girls.
just a style of
That's
cooking.
just silly, man.
That's just a
No,
style
man,
of
I'm not doing all of that. I'm not doing all of that. And love and light, all parties involved in it.
Yeah. I do believe it will kind of blow down. Die down, sorry.
I think so. But I think sometimes as well, this is why, because you know what it is? I think about even cooking as well, I just find it interesting how people are like, people say stuff like, oh, like I hope they lose everything and stuff like that. Personally, I think it's too far.
I think that's the internet. That's
It is
just
the internet, but I think it's far though.
Yeah, but that's the internet.
But then don't you think that speaks to people's intention then about the cooking that's happening?
No, it speaks to I want this tweet to go viral. It's the clout chasing. It's I want people to retweet this tweet and like this tweet and possibly follow me. Let me say the most
outrageous thing I can say
ever. Yeah, because this is where the energy is going right now. I can basically cash in on this. And I'm not suggesting that they don't also feel that way, because I don't know what it is. It's a spirit that's on social media that once it is wickedness is going on, people just want to
add fire to it. Literally just pour the gas into it.
Yeah. But that is it, man.
But anyway, all the best everybody. But I do believe that, everyone, all I'm gonna say is if you don't like somebody and you wanna stop watching their stuff, just do. I don't need a placard of you doing it.
All right, let us get into the headlines.
Please, man.
I thought maybe you
Maybe
guys...
something's changed.
Yeah.
No,
We know something you don't know.
I know the topic of the day is not going to be long, so...
All right. Because I was thinking to suggest,
Let's see how this spirit leads, man. Ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem. Make it happen, Esther.
All right.
All right.
Challenge accepted.
All right, people. So, first headline, trigger warning. Big trigger warning on this one. Dominic Pellicott, who's a 71-year-old man accused of drugging his wife to sleep and recruiting dozens of men to abuse her for over 10 years, has admitted to all the charges against him. Referring to the 50 co-defendants who are accused of raping his now ex-wife, Giselle, Mr. Pellicott said, "I am a rapist like the others in this room. They all knew. They cannot say the contrary. Only 15 out of the 50 admit rape, with most saying that they only took part in sexual acts." The trial is open to the public at Giselle's request, though no cameras are allowed. Mr. Pellicott began his testimony speaking of his traumatic childhood, including abuse by a male nurse at the age of 9. When asked about his marriage to Giselle, he said that he considered suicide when he found out that she was having an affair. Giselle said that she had been worried she was developing Alzheimer's or brain tumor because of hair and weight loss and large memory gaps. These were in fact the side effects of the drugs from her husband. Pellicott is also accused of drugging and abusing his daughter, Caroline, after semi-naked photos of her were found on his laptop. He has denied this, and on Tuesday he also stated that he has never touched his grandchildren. Pellicott claimed his perversion began in 2010 after meeting a male nurse online who suggested drugging his wife. Next headline takes us to Israel. Well, the conflict in Israel, where 9 people, including a child, have been killed after handheld pagers used by members of Hezbollah to communicate exploded across Lebanon. Iran's ambassador to Lebanon was among the 2,800 other people who were wounded by the simultaneous blast in Beirut and several other regions. Hezbollah, which is backed by Iran, said that the pagers belonged to employees of various Hezbollah units and institutions and confirmed the deaths of 8 fighters. The group blamed Israel for what is called this criminal aggression and vowed that it would get just retribution. The Israeli military declined to comment Hours before the explosions, Israel's security cabinet said that stopping Hezbollah attacks on the north of the country to allow safe return of displaced residents was an official war goal. There have been almost daily exchanges of fire across the Israel-Lebanon border since the day after the start of the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza on the 7th of October. And the last headline, trigger warning on this one as well. Buffer zones outside abortion clinics in England and Wales will come into force at the end of October. It has been more than a year since MPs voted to bring in legislation seeking to ensure women do not face harassment outside clinics. The new law prohibits protests within 150 metres of clinics or hospitals providing abortion services in the two nations as part of the Public Order Act, which received royal assent on the 2nd of May 2023. The Home Office has said that the zones will come into effect from October 31st. The law will make it illegal for a person to do anything deemed to intentionally, or recklessly influence someone's decision to use abortion services, to obstruct them or cause harassment or distress to someone using or working at such premises. It's understood silent prayer could come within the scope. And that's it for our headlines.
All right, let's get into what you say in topic of the day.
All right, people. So, as mentioned yesterday, today's topic of the day is pretty much a continuation of what we spoke about yesterday, but with more focus on the solutions. So, for those who don't know, yesterday we were talking about the thin line between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. And, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's kind of got different opinions on this and where the line should be drawn, what is appropriation, what is appreciation, and things of that nature, and who the owner should be on. Like, yesterday when we read out what Mimi said, I was basically saying the video of the white girl, the white DJ, didn't really matter. I think Mimi's message was to black people to say, guys,
Let's
be mindful, you know what I'm saying, who were platforming this, that, and the third, because the people that were platforming and seem to be championing have been doing the same thing that our people have been doing for the longest while.
What do you mean it didn't? What do you mean it didn't matter? It wasn't at. Were you saying it wasn't at the white girl?
Yeah, I was basically saying that, like, even if the video wasn't there, the message was still something for us. You know what I'm saying? It could have been any person there, basically.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
But I don't think she would have commented that on if it was a black woman, a black DJ, or black.
No, I mean anybody who's outside of
who's
the
non-black.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
So it wasn't personal to that lady.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's personal to her people.
Yeah, exactly. it's like that video just reminded her. Let me just
as a
send
matter
the
of
message.
fact.
Exactly. That's how I took it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess today, like Maggie suggested yesterday, and maybe Stacey can call up, Ebony can call up again. What do they think are the best solutions, and what you guys think are the best solutions about actually gatekeeping and actually making sure that we are the ones who actually benefit from the things that our culture produces? And how can we go about doing that, I should say?
What kind of things are we trying to gatekeep there?
So exactly. So like Mimi was saying, yeah, it's like it's important for us to gatekeep, innit? Why? Because sometimes we see certain people come into our community, do the things that we do, but for some reason, they've done it in such an exceptional way. And
it's not an exceptional. It's not exceptional. It's always mediocre. Because we have higher standards for ourselves
100%.
and for other people. It's like when you get those white boys back in the day. Well, I think some of them still do it. And they're dancing on Zonto and stuff.
It's exactly what I said yesterday.
Nothing pisses me off more in this world. Or when you get someone that's like speaking a white person speaking an African language. Sorry, I don't get applause every time I speak English. The hell? Okay. But then I think sometimes with the appropriation conversation, we just don't have to celebrate the people that are doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's necessarily, like, I think the appropriation sometimes only happens because they're championed. We've given them so much vim that they have the temerity and the audacity to say that they created it. It's like when Kim Kardashian did braids and stuff, and then like people started calling the Kardashian braids and whatever. If people had swarmed her DMs or her messages saying, "Oh, you did box braids," like she wouldn't have had the audacity to end up coining the term Kardashian braids. Do you get what I mean? So sometimes it's the attention that we give to something that then leads us down the path of now this is appropriation rather than appreciation. Because if we don't make a scene about it, then they're just appreciating our culture. Unless obviously they come and say that they created this or try to, I don't know, whatever they try to do from it. But other than that, if I see a person speaking Yoruba, I'm like, okay. That's nice. So when did you learn that? Just ask genuinely and that's it. But I'm not gonna. You're not a show pony for me. Start showing around my friend and start recording. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my! Like, there's no need to faint and pass out over this.
Yeah.
Speaking the language I speak, it's not that deep.
I fully agree.
So I think sometimes we are the ones. So it's funny we talk about gatekeeping, but we're also the ones that open the gate. And even when someone's peeping over the fence, we're so excited, like, oh my gosh, jump over, I'll catch you.
Yep.
So answers with us.
100%. This is basically what I was saying yesterday. I think it was more so anyway, yeah. I kept saying I'm taking what Mimi's saying in the spirit that I think she intended, which is not to attack the white girl.
I don't think she wanted to attack the girl.
Exactly, but just more so a message to us to be like, guys, we do this all the time. We just haven't learned. You know what I'm saying? And I think when was this? I think it was yesterday. Or another time we were talking about what would happen in a world where the best Afrobeat artist of the year was a white person. Would people be upset about this? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you think you'll be upset about that?
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely think it's disgusting and whatever else. 100%. I would definitely think it's disgusting. I would be irritated by it. I'll probably tweet. I would definitely talk about it, tweet about it, whatever the case might be. But there's just some things I don't think that I'm lighting a torch for. If there was like a petition we can sign to get it revoked, I would sign that.
Okay.
But it's not gonna be like for the rest of my life. It's not gonna be. I'm not gonna set out now to ensure no other white person wins Afrobeats. I would just see that as how did we get there? I like productive conversations. Yeah. How did we get here? How did we get to the point where a white person is the one who created Afrobeats? Sorry, who's not created it?
Best artist of the year.
Who? Yeah, do you mean like who became artist of the year? Like how did we get to that point? Are we not pushing our own more then? And then if it's like a say a Grammy and it's a worldwide stage, then maybe we need to stop looking to these other places then for what's the word I'm looking for? For
validation.
Validation, that's the word. For validation. But we'll have to have productive conversations about it. Because what use is if we're all just outraged and then there's no conversation that actually happens about pushing our own, supporting our artists and whatever else. It's gonna happen again and again and again. And after like the fifth time, we're gonna just stop talking about it. We're gonna be looking forward to which version of Eminem won the Afrobeats award.
Let me ask you this shit. Do you feel like, I'm not saying this is not necessarily this doesn't make sense, but do you feel as though we kind of rank genres of black music in terms of subconsciously, by the way, in terms of one type of one genre is more black than another? And should we see it that way?
I mean, people move like that for sure. People act like hip hop is the blackest genre.
But the reason why I'm saying, do you think that hip hop maybe is seen as less black? The reason why I'm saying this is because look at all of us said this like right now, and we said this yesterday. If we were to see a white Afrobeat artist, or at least best Afrobeat song of the year done by a white guy featuring, I don't know, it doesn't even matter, and he wins, people will be outraged, right? But why are we not outraged if a white person has the best hip hop song of the year or the best R&B song? This is all black.
No, but I think because there's no consensus with that. Because not everyone, people are outraged about it. What was it that what's that song? What's that song? J. Cole. Where's Ramsey when I need him? And Ramsey said this year I'll probably go dapper down to the Grammys, watch Iggy Azalea pick up a thing, something like that.
Okay.
So the people that are definitely outraged by it. Danielle says, for every white person appropriating, find one black person doing it better and highlight them.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a solution. Because I think also as well, like with black people, the standards we set for ourselves is just so high. But then other people get to be mediocre and win. But unfortunately, that's the standard society sets for us as well. Where we have to be like, we just have to do things a lot better to get acknowledgement, to get that promotion, to get that raise, to get whatever it is. But people get to be mediocre and just get stuff,
Yeah.
But I do. There is definitely outrage when it comes to, even with certain. There was outrage with Nigerians making Amapiano. That's
true. But black people like to attack other black people.
Yeah, but then even then, I'm like, unless Nigerians come and say they started it, the rest is appreciation. Big up Davido because he actually was, first of all, the video was tapping into South African sound before it became a trend. He did it back. What's that song? I can't remember what the song was, but back in the day, like when Afrobeats was still on the rise in this country, obviously popping back there. But like he actually went out of his way to find people who, like in South Africa, that had those sounds, and he would like work with them and whatever else. And that's for me, that's appreciation. But if, for example, he never did that, and he just started singing and started doing my piano songs and said, "Oh, I created that, I made it popular," then that's appropriation. But there was that as well. So I think I feel like there's always outrage. But I just think it's about the loudness of the outrage and how popular the opinion is for it to be, you know.
I want you guys' opinion on this, yeah, Brent. Listen to this, yeah, and people in chat as well. Quadco makes a good point. He said when Adele was at Carnival with Chinese bumps and Jamaican bra, people were quiet.
No, say it again. I thought I heard Chinese. I don't know if you actually said that. Did you say that?
No, that's what he said. Yeah, you know when she had the Brent, put up a picture of that, please. Yeah. Adele.
Oh, she had the Bantu. Was it Bantu nuts?
It might have been.
I think Bantu nuts, and she had the Jamaican flag.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff.
Opportunities.
Yeah. People didn't complain, right?
We did.
No, yeah, but I mean,
People cooked her. Like Brent said earlier, there's different versions of cooking, isn't it? People are making hella jokes. I don't think Adele was proud of that moment.
you don't think so?
Has she been in Bantu nuts since? Adele's retired music now. She put it on a sticky note.
All right, cool.
She got cooked for that.
Okay.
Obviously, people make jokes about Adele, you know, and how she is and da-da-da-da, but she hella jokes. I don't think she was online happy to see those jokes and kikiing and eating popcorn. She definitely was shy for herself with those jokes.
Okay.
Those jokes are embarrassing. Mary, click that one that's next to it that's got some text next to it. Let's see. Are those some of the jokes? Oh, no, I have all of that. But there we go. She should go to jail, no parole for this. Adele barely ever posts. She had it so easy. All she has to do was not make her quarterly post anything insensitive, and she was good. But nah, see, she got cooked for it. She got cooked.
Well, some people were, is saying here the Americans cooked her, not the British. You know what I'm saying? And obviously I don't know how true that is, but still.
Well, I thought you guys said you want to know.
But let me ask this question though, yeah. If she, for example, shot a video right there, and that song that she brings out is like, I don't know, the biggest dancehall song in the UK, and she wins Best Dancehall Tune of the Year, does a remix with Stefflon, Don and Miss Banks and everybody else, right? And is that a good thing or a bad thing? Have we failed? Or is that just the sign of the times and the same thing we've done in every other genre?
Wait, is this post that outfit she wore?
Yeah, so let's just say this didn't even happen.
No, but if she's appreciating, that's fine. Because remember when Ed Sheeran was singing with Fuse and he was singing in Tree?
Yeah, but he
is that because Ed Sheeran?
But he wasn't wearing the kente cloth.
Do we know? Did you ever watch the video? Did you ever watch the music video? I don't know. It was in a little wrapper.
But you know, like Ed Sheeran don't give me the impression that
because he's sweet. Because he looks like a lovely lad.
But he also, it just seems like he's just a brilliant musician who just appreciates sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're biased talking.
maybe. I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Because, but I feel like if that's the case, I feel like people will look at Adele in the same way then. Because Adele's also just this girl that we know that she goes through heartbreak, she comes and sings about it. Everyone always feels sorry. Like she's just a sweet girl. So I feel like I honestly think sometimes it depends on the person.
Yeah, I think so. But it's her putting on the uniform. You know what I'm saying?
You know they get cookie for that.
What?
You're saying, I'm not going to say, I don't want to give them I don't want to give you ideas if they haven't clocked onto it, it's fine. But yeah, her wearing the flag and whatnot.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then...
Was she going to Carnival or was that just a random day in a summer garden?
That was at Carnival. Yeah.
But then can't an argument be made for she's appreciating the culture? Because she's going to Carnival and she's not coming in a, in a Karen suit. She decided to, represent the flag. Is that bad? Obviously, people say she represented her own flag, but if Adele came in there with a UK flag, wouldn't people see that as a form of terrorism?
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So,
but maybe that's what gatekeeping is, to be able to say to her, don't come with your UK. No, more so, don't come with your UK flag and don't you dare pick up a Jamaican one.
So what's she coming at?
Just come. That's
Come
it.
as you are.
That's it. Keep your mouth closed. Let us not even know you're Adele. That's it.
Is she allowed to whine?
Semi.
The 2-step. I think it's tricky. I think it is tricky. No, it's not tricky. It's not tricky to just appreciate people's culture without appropriating it. Yeah. But I think that it's tricky sometimes because someone can intend to appreciate it, but then people see that as them appropriating. I think where she went far was the hairstyle.
Yeah.
I think it was the hairstyle. I think that's where, for me, that's where I draw the line. I don't think there was a need for you to do a black hairstyle. I think you should just gone to carnival, even if she had the bikini on with Jamaican flag and whatever else. I think that's sweet.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm not Jamaican, so hold on to your... Yeah, we'll calm down. But for me, I think what makes that look like a clear appropriation, open and close case was Bantu knots.
Yeah.
There's no need for that.
But this is the thing. Who determines where the line is drawn? And the reason why I say that is because I don't think it was her friend Sally who did the hair for her. It was her friend. Let me not mention the.
You never know. You could just YouTube things these days. But I think, do you know what it is? I think because it looks like a costume.
Yes.
Adele has a bob. She has a white girl bob. All of a sudden now you're in Bantu knots. It looks like a costume, and I think sometimes that's where it can look like. No, I don't. Is there another term? Does appropriation cover taking the piss? Because sometimes it looks as though people are trying to take the piss.
Yeah.
Because you wear it like it's like a mask, like it's something that you got masquerade, and it's just so dramatic and just so stupid. So I think the hair is what makes all of this look like it's as if you think this is a joke. So
yeah, imagine that Life of Budge said exactly the same thing.
What did he say?
He said that the sister that did her hair is to blame.
How you tell you don't know it's a sister?
I don't think a white girl did that though.
You think that there's white people with mixed race children and they have those kids have the healthiest Afro hair going. You never know who could do it. Adele could have done it herself.
That is true.
We don't know, but even if it is a sister that did it, are we blaming the sister? You know, I'm not really for blaming people when the original person should be getting the cooking.
Yeah, but that person made them feel comfortable. Because
if Adele calls and said this is the hairstyle I want, I don't know what the plan is. What is she going to photo shoot? I don't know what the plan is. Obviously, she'll be yapping about going to carnival.
You got to ask her though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so before you offer someone a service, you ask them.
Like, why do you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not your. You know what I'm saying?
If I was in lashes and someone came in and they wanted green, white, green as lashes. I'm like, oh, that's fancy. Where are you going with them? But that's fancy. Where are you going? Whilst I'm doing them.
Yeah.
It's not going to be part of the consultation. And then if they say, oh, because I'm going to Nigerian festival, and I say, oh, you're not allowed. I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable with that.
But like, if I call out one of my white friends, and I'm like, yo, where can I get what they call the quilt? A kilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to call up a Scottish friend.
Yeah, they're white, innit? My white Scottish friend, Keith. Right?
Not Keith.
McDonald's. So
Okay.
if I call one.
See what I'm saying? 500 and something episodes, we're still giving them ammunition. Never been in charge of it.
So if I call up one of them now,
Yeah.
and I said that, I expect him to ask me why. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know what? I think it depends if you meet a yapper, you know? Some people just don't like to, like, I don't like small talk. So if you want green, white, green in your lashes, I'll give you green, white, green lashes. That's great. Bye. Get out. But I think I get what you're saying, but I just don't think, because I think what happens, the reason why I'm not really for stuff like this is because what happens is that the blame shift goes onto the service provider, rather than this person who wanted to do it in the first place. And that's what I personally don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like when we shift blame to somebody else when the person that should be the actual perpetrator should be the one that's getting the cookings. Like, we'll deal with you at a later time.
Yeah.
But then also as well, I think with certain things, like I don't believe in selling your soul for money and stuff, but what if sister's rent was due and it's Adele? Was the black community, if she said she wasn't going to do it, was the black community going to rally around her and give her and pay her rent? So sometimes when people do stuff, if someone offers a service to somebody and they didn't ask for why they're doing it, whatever, and it turns out end up being something harmful, I don't know, man. I don't think that things are as black and white and things always go the way. Like, it's easy for us when we're outside of situations to say this is how I would deal with it, but there's other situations that we've dealt with that other people will look at and be like, well, how could you have done that? Or how could you not have, thought this or thought that? It's just a bit tricky. I don't think the auntie that did her Bantu knots is to blame. Because what if it's an elderly woman as well? Some people, they don't know about appropriation. They don't think everyone's appreciating. You think auntie's asking and auntie's knowing that, even if she said she was going to cut, auntie might have even said to her, I know someone that sells a Jamaican flag bikini. We don't know. Do you know what I mean? So I just think it makes it tricky. And I think I would rather we focus on letting the person who's done quote unquote wrong, that they've done wrong, than having to then start sharing the blame. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear it.
But
Stacey and thingy.
Yes.
Morning, Stacey.
Good morning.
I love that sound, you know. Ta-dum. Stacey?
Sorry, the Discord, when you first get on it, makes it seem like it's a phone call.
Oh. You okay, babes?
Buddy? Yes. I don't have much to say today. I don't know where y'all left off, but I thought it would be a good idea to read the definition of cultural appropriation.
Yes, please.
I feel like sometimes we like to debate things that actually have definitions. So I threw it into Discord if anybody wants to take a look, but I'll read it. This is Google's combination from a bunch of different sources. Shout out to AI. Cultural appropriation is when a dominant culture or group adopts elements of a minority culture or social group in a way that is exploitative, disrespectful, or stereotypical. It often involves taking cultural imagery or materials, such as clothing or music, and using them in ways that were never intended. Here are some examples of cultural appropriation. Wearing a sombrero as part of Mexican, quote-unquote, costume. Dressing up as a person with a disability that you do not have. Wearing dreadlocks, which have long been associated with Black culture. Cultural appropriation is often viewed as a problem of post-colonial world. It can be especially controversial when members of a dominant culture appropriate from minority cultures. Last piece. Cultural appropriation is different from cultural appreciation, which is when someone seeks to acquire knowledge and understanding of another culture. Cultural appreciation involves honoring and respecting the culture, its practices, and history.
You see,
where's the room for debate?
You know what the thing is here, Stacey? Yeah.
Yeah.
What seems to come out to me is the fact that cultural appropriation is negative, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. It's appropriation.
Okay, cool. So when yesterday you mentioned that if the DJ was wearing Fulani braids, yeah, that is cultural appropriation. Don't you think sometimes that to deem something negative or positive, you have to look at the intention? So if, for example, that DJ is saying, cool, I love this culture, I really just want to really immerse myself and show respect to this particular culture, I'm going to put my hair like this for today. Like, does that speak to that being negative?
That would be costuming.
So, and would that be negative or just costuming?
That's quite literally appropriation by definition. You're turning it into a costume.
Wow, okay. I mean...
And intent doesn't always fly when it comes to defining appreciation, because someone could say, I was intending to be comical with blackface. Hello? Like, nobody cares about you wanting to be funny. Like, it's blackface. Same point I was making about braids yesterday. Here in America, where cornrows were used in slave times to literally map out escape routes, I don't care that you think Fulani braids are cute. Like, your intent doesn't erase the history, which was referenced in the definition of what this means.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, so what if, for example, somebody says to you, okay, cool, look at back in the days when there was a old school griot who would have people and that around him, and he would tell stories to Black audiences, people in the community, and that kind of morphed into what we saw in the 70s with Gil Scott-Heron and the Last Poets, and that morphed into modern day hip hop, and that's the MC, and that's Black culture, this, that, and the third. But now we have white rappers who do that same thing. Why wouldn't you say that's appropriating?
I think you lost me because I don't understand the domino of what you're describing.
So I'm basically saying that if somebody could say to you, okay, cool, I'm linking the MC, right? Today's rapper MC, all the way to a real solid aspect of black culture, right? In the same way the Fulani braids is, right? So like you're saying that that was used to map out escape routes and things like that nature. The griot used to use his gift to actually pass on oral traditions. This is how we did what we did, right? And today's version of that is just the MC. If they're white MCs, why don't we say to ourselves, this is also appropriation?
Because to me, I feel like it would be appropriation if said white MCs took that and made it appropriated it, Lord have mercy, by claiming ownership over it, by saying this is from us. I think the reason why that's not viewed as appropriation now is because what it has morphed to in present day has been something that's considered a talent. Your ability to rhyme and create music based on how you rhyme words, your cadence, your flow, whatever have you.
Was it not a talent back in the day?
I'm not saying it wasn't a talent back in the day. That's another thing that I hate. Why is that every time we engage in conversation as Black people, we have to say both sides? Why can't we just address the one side?
No. The reason why I'm saying is because you're saying the reason why it's not seen that way is because it's seen as a talent now. You have to hone that craft. And I'm saying to you
I'm not saying it wasn't a talent back then. I'm saying the ability to put words together in what we know as a rap is something that is a talent. If they took that talent and said that white people created it, this is our thing, that to me is what we would call appropriation. But now what we recognize, what we give people credit for, what people are given a platform for when they're talented, they have the ability to do this, that is why they're famous, or that is why they're credited, not because they created the idea of rap and MCing, but because they are talented in how they're doing that and applying it to music.
But that's what I'm saying to you. In the very same way, I'm trying to use that same parallel with the hair. Why is it that somebody's wearing the braids, right? Just wearing it. In the same way, there could be a white rapper who's just spitting bars, right? We can say that that's not appropriating, but the other one we can say that is appropriating.
Braids
it's
is
like
costuming.
we just made it up. Huh?
I don't think that's the same in parallel. I think the braids is costuming.
Why is that costuming though? And the other one is just seen as a talent. Like even if you don't want to say the other one's costuming, it's still an aspect of our traditions. This is how we passed on information for thousands of years. So something that's like the I don't know. It's indispensable to nearly every African culture. And that same thing where you've got people around you listening to one speaker or listening to a group of speakers relate information in a particular way that is not necessarily something that everybody else can do, i.e. the talent, right? Why are we not seeing that same parallel with the white rappers and saying, guys, this is what we do over here. Do your own thing. Do what, respectfully, what the Vikings and them man used to do. But this thing here, this is ours. And any aspect of this that we see that you're doing, that's appropriation. In the same way, the hair thing is appropriation.
I don't agree that parallels, but I might need a minute to think about that.
Okay.
In depth. Yeah, I don't think that parallels, in my opinion. I think it's one of those things that has origins in a certain thing that ended up deriving into something else that we're still credited for, but I don't think that's unless
is it like the subgenre thing you were talking about yesterday?
The what?
Is it like the subgenre thing that you were talking about yesterday?
Yeah, kind of. Like that doesn't discredit where it comes from, and we still acknowledge and recognize the historical roots of where that comes from, but I don't think it's the same in comparison personally. And I could be wrong. Like I said, I might need to think about that more and look at the origins of where rap comes from. But to me, music is a different conversation, because I just feel like the way music evolves, I don't know.
All right, cool. Obviously,
and it would be different if like white rappers were doing it in a way that was mocking black rappers. Like I consider the rap of Eminem different from the rap of everybody else, personally.
All right, cool. Before you go, what would you say are some of the solutions for gatekeeping, or I guess preventing appropriation?
I think we need to correctly identify what needs to be gatekept.
Okay.
Same as I was saying yesterday. I think we always focus our energy on the wrong thing and don't gatekeep the actual things that need to be gatekept.
What would you say needs to? What would you say doesn't need to? As an example, where are we wasting our resources?
That's a good question. I'm having a bit of brain fart here. Give me an example of what you think, and maybe that'll inspire my mind to get on track.
Of what I think needs to be gatekept?
Yeah.
I think, to be fair, the things that we kind of aware of, just in terms of our music and our genres and stuff, innit? So everything that has come from Black people, I think, is something that we need to have an eye on. Everything. So I really don't put any limits on that. That's not me saying people can't participate.
What does gatekeeping look like to you?
Just
Sorry if you said this already.
Just making sure that we have control. I think that's what it is. So if we decide to squander it, okay, that's up to us. But at least we're deciding to do a particular thing. So we're in control.
But what does that look like?
What does what look like?
Like literal,
music,
the literal, yeah.
Okay,
like
so,
what? Maybe that's why I'm a little confused.
Okay, so let's just say,
because I'm also trying to think of it from the angle of like different cultures and how they might gatekeep. Like, I wonder what that looks like if we have cultures that we can model over who do that well.
It's hard to kind of look at other cultures because just like yesterday, we kind of said when I gave examples of the Jewish community, people were like, and which makes perfect sense. How do you compare a race with a faith or a race with a particular ethnic group? You know what I'm saying? So it's easy.
But we have other ethnic groups that we can
100%
use as an example.
100%. But I just mean in terms of, I say the Jewish community only because of, I guess, it's kind of prominent and people know about what they do and don't do, right? But in terms of, I guess, how we could gatekeep, for example, let's just say a new genre, right? I think one of the most important things is controlling it. How would that come about? By making sure we're supporting it and making sure that if there needs to be some form of distribution, there needs to be advances given to this particular artist, supporting this artist, whatever it may be, is done by Black people. That's basically how I think it can be controlled. Because then we can, everything's on our terms. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be a simple way of doing it. I think the reason why hip hop, for example, is something that was inevitably going to be something that will kind of fall out of our hands is because we never really had those record labels that control certain things. Of course, we had prominent record label owners, you know, the Russell Simmons, the Suge Knights, and you know what I mean, people like that. But we saw what happened with Def Jam, though, right? We saw what happened, you know what I'm saying? So, and obviously, you'll be better placed to even speak about that. But the control aspect of it, I think, left us. And so even if the community, just the consumers, kind of dropped the ball, we didn't have that line of defense, i.e. the actual record labels and the actual distributing companies to control what we're doing, to make sure that Black people, the creators, actually get the lion's share of everything that's made. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that sort of thing.
I still think I need to think a little harder about other cultures and ethnicities that gatekeep well to get a gist of what gatekeeping looks like. But I feel like the way that I'm interpreting it from all the outrage that happens in situations like this, it's like, and we talked about this briefly yesterday, like some people do feel like people like the girl who's DJing and people like D. James are appropriating because they're skilled in DJing in our genres. That to me isn't something that I feel like is a good example of gatekeeping, because I just feel like that's, what are they appropriating in playing music? Like DJing is quite literally playing music. If you're good at it, great. But that's when I brought up the whole example of like appropriating would be wearing braids and Ankara as costume. Yeah. Like it's hard for me. I think that's going back to my point. We just got to figure out what is it that is, and I don't want to say worthwhile because people always get into semantics, but what are the things that need to be gatekept? Yeah. Versus what are the things that are actually not so much appropriation, but
I get what you're saying. I think for me though, to kind of briefly answer that is, I think the reason why I said everything is because once you let in a few things, before you know it, everything goes. And this is why I mentioned the whole thing about the idea of just having the MC. You can look back and tie it back to people like I said earlier, Gil Scott-Heron, The Last Poets, and further back to African cultures, you know what I'm saying? Where there was one particular person who spoke and had African people in the community around him or her. You know what I'm saying? And there was relaying of information. There was entertainment. All of that's innate in our culture. But today it's been commercialized. Of course, it's been modernized. It's evolved as well. But it's changed, and we've just allowed it to just kind of just slip through the net. So if we had kind of stopped it there, we wouldn't have what we have today. You know what I'm saying? Where record label, like the biggest record labels, none of them are owned by black people. None of them are controlled by black people. Not one. Yet we make all the music. We entertain the world.
I think Oluman in the chat made a very great point and said, I think we choose to gatekeep these things because we don't have the power to protect the things that really matter.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thing to elaborate on.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that point.
100%.
But I do think that sometimes we accept that, and then we don't make efforts to
change it.
to not even just to change it, but even if we have control over smaller things, we get so worried about the bigger picture when oftentimes the bigger picture is just a combination of a million small things.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So I feel like, to the point of what we were talking about yesterday, where this topic originated from, like, we just got to support our own.
Yeah, I
like
think,
the same way we can put so much energy into being outraged and, you know, all this stuff. Like, imagine if we would have channeled that energy to, like, imagine if somebody said, wow, D James has 3.1 million views. What do you call it? Another black DJ. The next highest black DJ on Culture FM has 200,000. Let's bring these views up. Like, that's a way that we could angle it.
Yeah.
You know, like, instead of just crying over spilled milk, essentially, like, let's figure out how to channel our energy into making sure that we're supporting our own. And from there, I feel like it will be a lot easier for us to get ownership over the spaces that we can. But then we have, and that's further down the line, people who just, the people who have the ownership of the spaces that we are supporting, who end up selling out, which is a whole other shabab. But that often comes because they know that the support sometimes can be limited. When, look at how they're doing shits and gigs. When we put our energy into supporting somebody and building them up, only to be hypercritical of them and do one thing and break them down immediately, like, let me get my money and keep going. You know? It's unfortunate, but it's a habit in our community.
I think one last thing as well is, you mentioned basically just supporting. I think that's the easiest and the most practical thing that everyone can kind of do. And pretty much Danielle said the same thing. For every other person, just make sure we support those who are just as good and better in our own community. You know what I'm saying? Because if we went the other extreme, and this might not be the same thing, but I remember I've had a conversation with a Jewish person before, right? Random. This was just at my old workplace. And I just started talking to him about the Talmud, right? Which is, for those who don't know, their holy book, right? The guy didn't have no conversation with me. So let's just say we was talking about regular stuff in life, yeah? As soon as I mentioned Talmud, as soon as I mentioned the Gemara, the Mishnah, the things that he thought I would never know, the conversation was done. Done. Silence. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was protected. You know what I'm saying? So
I was just that guy.
Huh?
I was just that guy. There are many other Jewish people that will basically
engage in
100%
conversation
with you about the Talmud.
100%. But there's some who have that mentality of, okay, cool, this is just for us. So I'm not prepared to have that conversation. It's not going to be on my conscience. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
so I'm
he
just
doesn't read it
speaking.
much.
Huh?
Maybe he doesn't read it much.
No, this was an Orthodox. So he was, you know what I'm saying? But I just say that as an example.
In the word.
But yeah.
Can I ask a question quickly?
Yeah.
Are there things, and I know this is going to ruffle everybody's feathers because Black people love to do this.
Let's have it. It's a Wednesday.
Are there things that other cultures need to gatekeep from us?
Won't he do it?
I'm just curious because sometimes the way people say, "Oh, the things that we let slide," or like this can be applied in the opposite. In the opposite direction.
Can I have some examples?
Like I'm very confused as to the things that other cultures let slide from us. Like, so, and that's not in an accusatory way. That's not in a way that diminishes the fact that oftentimes our culture is appropriated and ownership is taken from us. But let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, is there things that we appropriate from other cultures?
Can I have some examples, please?
Sorry?
Can I have some examples, please?
No, I'm asking. I'm posing the question.
I think there's definitely stuff that
there must be. There must be.
There's got to be. I think. Yeah.
Can I have some examples, please?
But I think the difference between appropriation and appreciation for me is when you try and own it. I don't know that there's any other things that other things from other cultures that we do or we use or whatever that we claim is our own. I know you asked for examples, but you might want to ask Gemini because I ain't got none.
No, but I'm not even saying on an ownership thing.
Yeah.
Like, let's just take. I don't want to call it little because to some people it's not, but like the people who are dying on the hill that these white DJs playing music is appropriation, or is one of the many ways that we let things slide. I wonder if there's things that we do in a similar extent, but the other way around. I'm actually posing a question. I'm not even trying to make a point here.
What about
I'm
what
just
we
curious.
wear? What about what we wear?
I'm curious.
Yeah.
Examples,
No,
please.
but
Like professional suits and stuff to work.
Yeah, but you know why that can't be that? Because they went to our countries and told us that was the appropriate wear to work and stuff like that. Part of that. That's part of their colonizing tactics.
So it suits Stacey?
No, I'm not making a point. I'm
No,
actually
she's trying to
asking
find out
questions.
if there is
Just
anything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but Iman said maybe what we wear, and I'm saying that it can't be because, like, when they colonized us, they taught us or socialized us into believing that this is appropriate wear. So even when you go back home and stuff, like in Nigeria, for example, like on Fridays people wear native clothes and stuff like that. But Monday to Thursday, I would have thought Monday to Thursday you wear native clothes. Friday, they're in a suit if you want. Do you get what I mean? So with that one, it can't be appropriation basically if slavery don't force us into it.
But one
I
could
agree.
say
Same with wigs. That's a cheap argument white people often throw. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's not a
why is wigs? In fact, we can
That's
leave it for another
it's
day.
hair extensions. And again, they taught us that our hair
Our
was
hair
not great, and we should be perming our hair, we should be texturizing our hair, and we should be straightening our hair. So it's not appropriation if you've done damage, and then a few years later now you want to say, nope, that's my culture.
I'm only saying.
Wait a minute. Stacey, you started off by saying that we need to stick to the definition, right? The definition that you read out stated when a dominant culture or group adopts elements of a minority culture or social group. So when I'm asking for examples, that's why I'm asking for them. So when you say wigs or suits, does that fall into this definition that you've told us to stick
You're
to?
saying that because black people are not a dominant culture.
But you told us to stick to
appropriate.
you told us to stick to the definition.
Okay, that's a fair argument.
And it says here, in a way that is exploitative. So I need to hear.
It is why I was.
That's a fair argument. I can hear that argument, but I do think, and not to disregard the definition at all, but I do think there are ways that appropriation can apply within minorities.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we're seeing a day now where people are wearing people are doing ashwabi to their weddings and they're not Nigerian.
That's appropriating.
Salty.
Or when people this is a cheap example, but it's a valid one. Because it happened on Housewives and people do it every year for Halloween. When people dress up as Native Americans for Halloween, that's appropriating. Regardless of whether it's a white person as a dominant culture or a black person as a minority culture, that's appropriating. I'm actually I'm assimilation. Someone said we have to discuss assimilation versus appropriation. I don't know if that is there's an intersection there. But yeah. I really wonder because I think some of the hills we choose to die on, like if we pointed some light in the direction of ways that we do it in other subsects or like other cultures as black people or as people in general, like if people would think the parallels would make the same sense.
Well,
that they're dying on the hill.
Marx has said that plenty of time on the show when we've spoken about how we behave in this country versus how, like, if we were to flip it around and things of that nature. And when we had a conversation about South Africa and all that sort of stuff, like just flipping it around, would we still have the same opinion and perspective?
Before.
But no, just certain arguments, not this particular one. Yeah, but again, Stacey, if you're sticking to the definition, in what setting would we be the dominant culture? That means we have license to do whatever. But because it's not appropriating, it's okay. Essentially, you know what I'm saying? Because no one can accuse you of appropriating. if you don't meet that criteria.
This might sound hypocritical, but maybe does appropriation have to meet every single part of the definition for it to still be classified as appropriation?
Well, this is what Iman was
No,
trying
like
to basically get you to see.
I'm acknowledging that, but the dominant culture part, if it checks off everything except that, are we not? What then is it called? I'm actually asking a question. I'm not trying to argue. I'm again dialogue.
I don't know
What then do we call it? Is that something that is categorized differently?
But I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, that's food for thought. Something I'm gonna think about over the next day or two.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Stacey.
No problem.
All right.
Christy has entered the chat.
Morning, girl.
morning,
How
Christy.
are you?
I'm tired. I don't even have the energy, but
Read us
Here
the
you are.
girlie.
Alas. What's up?
no,
girl? We won't stress you out. What happened?
I love you, Stacey, but bringing up these points to negate trying to fight against cultural appropriation, I just think, like, what we doing here?
Y'all, I've been saying I'm not trying to negate anything.
No, but like you bring up the point, like, oh, we do it to others, and would they've let us slide, and not one example has been given. I don't.
No,
I don't. Bringing up that as an argument, I don't see like how does that deal with what actually is happening to us?
I brought it up as a question,
Yeah,
not
she
to negate.
did say it was a question.
But I also give the example of the Ashobi thing.
I was just curious.
No, because you said it in the point to when I think Ebony made the comment that when we let it slide, then it becomes a snowball effect, which I agree. And you're saying, and your response to that was, well, there's stuff that other people that we do that can we have you even said it's going to shake the table. That's what I'm saying. So you made it as a point.
Oh, I said people. You're feeding into exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying me posing the question was going to shake the table. That I'm asking.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But what was I don't get.
My point was to be curious. I wonder if there are things that we do that seem like appropriation to other cultures, that to us when we do it, we take it lightly, as in something that should be quote unquote let slide, but to the other culture that we are appropriating, for lack of a better word, they take it as lowball appropriation. I was just curious. I wasn't using that as an example to thwart anything. And I start off by saying that I'm not trying to use it as an argument. I'm just curious. Like, I wonder if there are things that we do that's viewed as that. That's why I didn't have any examples. I was curious.
Okay. Well, I mean, I kind of think, again, it kind of diverts the attention to what we actually need to be focused on. Like, no offense, I couldn't give a hoot. What if they want to fight for that? Then that's their business to fight for that. I'm trying to fight for what is the cultural appropriation to us. So I don't really care if they feel away. They 100% will exercise their right to feel away, and they will. My problem is we do not, and the ways in which we do it.
Fair.
That's my issue.
Curious.
Pardon?
I said that's fair. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I don't care what's going on over there. Let them police what I think, and they have every right to police what they want to police. And the problem is we don't do the same, and that's my issue when it comes to the whole gatekeeping thing. We don't have the same energy that's others, because the same way we can say, oh, they let certain things slide. There's certain things they 100% don't let slide. And I'm just thinking we should keep the same energy. That's all my thing is. And I think when people start bringing in gatekeeping as a form of, I've seen it in the chat, like is a form of, can be seen as reverse racism. It can be seen as segregation. It can be seen as all these things. And obviously, I can be radical in saying, and so what if it is seen that way? Given our history, I don't understand why we don't have the right to do the same. That makes no sense to me. That can be an argument for us, given what we've been through, and why we want to now tiptoe and be like, oh no, it could be seen as a way. They didn't care if it was seen as a way towards us. So why do we not keep the same energy? Like, I don't understand. I think our problem is we consider too many people's feelings when when we're at the stage we're at. I feel like we're at the stage we're at because we're considering too many feelings. We want to do the whole invite to the cookout. I know you don't like that term, but it's still a thing. Like, we're doing all these things and placating other people when they wouldn't placate us. So why should we not have the same energy? I don't get that. And even if we do take the same energy, we now want to, people in our own community want to chastise those people that want to have the same energy. It makes no sense to me.
All right.
I'll do it.
I don't disagree with you at all.
All
Like,
right. Then. We're on the same page, guys.
Even the little things can turn out to be big things. I think all fronts need to be manned, and the problem is all fronts ain't being manned. So yes, we can say we're focusing on the wrong things. Ownership is a definite key, but also I can also be like, no, I don't want whether the white DJ. I don't want to popping up, and then in years later, for my future generations to think that is the key. That's the person who's now the main DJ for Afrobeats, or the main, like, no, I don't want that also. Because already history is being erased as we speak. Even in America, the way the history is getting erased. So talk less of how many years time. And I don't understand why. I think, yes, there's ways that we can deal with it, and sometimes it can be so much hoopla and just talk and whatever and support. And trust me, I don't put my support where it doesn't need to be. There's people I don't support because that's not where my support needs to be. So I'm not one of those people. Me, I support who I need to be supporting. So any issues won't have an effect on me down the line. But I just think, I don't know. I'm getting sick and tired of our community, to be honest with you. If I would be real about it, I'm
We've been
getting
doing
sick and tired of us. I'm actually getting sick and tired of us.
Sis, we've been doing.
No, I'm getting sick and tired of us because.
Christy, is there anything wrong? I think Izzy said it in the chat. Like, is there anything wrong? Throw a stone at me if necessary. With begging the question, if at the end of the day, like, if there's a culture that's doing it right, like, why bump our head a couple times in ways that we could, protect our culture when there's an example of someone who's protecting it well? Like, I feel like me asking that question.
No, but that wasn't a question. I don't mind. That's not the question I'm talking about. I'm talking about if we're gonna take it, yes, if we're gonna take our cues from people who actually exercise their gatekeeping rights well, 100% say we do that. My problem is when certain other cultures do that, and we now want to do the same, there is some type of noise within us that, like, oh no. Like, or we cower. Like, oh, we shouldn't do that. That's my issue.
I think that's a fair observation. But I think when I said I'm going to shake the room by asking this question, which clearly it did, like, what's so wrong in looking outside to see how either we're appropriating someone's culture or how other people are gatekeeping their culture from being appropriated? Like, what's wrong with begging that question?
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with begging the question. Again, I'm more focused on whether or not we are. That's why I said that's for them to deal with. And how they deal with it, 100%, if it's working for them, 100% we should implore it. I think we don't implore it enough. If I'm being honest, we don't, in other ways that they gatekeep it. And I think we should. And that's just my point.
All right.
Well,
thank you very much, guys.
Today.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks,
y'all. We got to wrap up.
Yeah, let's get into more headlines.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stacey, and thank you,
Christy and Stacey.
Christy.
No problem.
Always appreciate you, Stacey.
All right, people. So Instagram and Facebook owner Meta is banning RT and other Russian state media networks from its platforms over claims that they carried out covert operations to influence social media users. So we spoke about this briefly yesterday in the People's Journal, but one of them has basically come out, man, and responded. So in response, RT was speaking to Sky News and said that Meta was censoring information flow to the rest of the world. The ban comes after the United States filed money laundering charges earlier this month against two RT employees, for what officials said was a scheme to hire hire an American company to produce online content to influence the 2024 elections. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Friday that countries should treat the activities of Russian state broadcaster RT as they do covert intelligence operations. Next headline, and an Al-Qaeda linked group has said that it was behind an early morning attack in the Malian capital of Bamako. So armed men targeted a military training school and other areas in the city. This is what the authorities said, blaming a group of terrorists for the assault. Jihadist group Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, JNIM, claimed responsibility, saying that it had inflicted heavy human and material losses. The attack was the first of its kind in years to hit Bamako. Before Tuesday, the city had largely avoided the Islamist insurgency that had wrecked Mali for more than a decade. Next headline, and the Princess of Wales has been listed in the official record of royal events for the first time since her cancelled treatment ended. Catherine was featured in the court circular after holding a meeting at Windsor Castle about an issue that aides in the past have described as her life's work, the early years development of children. She was joined on Tuesday by her household team and staff from the Royal Foundation Centre for Early Childhood, the organisation she established to promote the issue and conduct research. It's only the third time that she had been mentioned in the official record of royal engagement since her health scare began at the start of the year. She has been receiving chemotherapy for an undisclosed form of cancer since February, with King Charles beginning his cancer care earlier that month following his diagnosis. I'll just say the last set of headlines as well. And are you going to be talking about Diddy? Or
No, I think
Tomorrow.
we don't. Yeah.
tomorrow, yeah.
All right, let me answer. Shoved down my throat. No, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but we'll be good because his legal people are gonna appeal the no bail that he's got today. So we should have more information tomorrow. So that'll be fun.
Okay.
Bills
So you can do the
gonna be a lot.
headline and then
Okay.
The bill's going to be a lot.
It's 50 million and all his family have put their passports down, including the baby. Where's the baby gonna go? It's actually a whole list. His mum's house, his house, $50 million, all their passports, his private jet, and they said no. So they're gonna appeal that no.
He's done, you know. Anyway, let me just tell you guys the headline. So obviously,
Yeah.
trigger warning. So the hip hop mogul, Sean Diddy Combs, has been denied bail after pleading not guilty in a sex trafficking case. A New York federal judge remanded the musician in custody after prosecutors argued that he was a serious flight risk. Mr. Combs, who's 54, was arrested on Monday evening, accused of running a criminal enterprise from at least 2008 that relied on drugs and violence to force women to fulfill his sexual desires. This according to prosecutors. A 14-page indictment charges him with racketeering, sex trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. If convicted on all three counts, the rapper and record producer faces a sentence of 15 years up to life in prison. According to court documents, Mr. Combs wielded the power of his status to lure female victims to engage in extended sex acts called freak-offs. Officials found firearms, ammunition, and more than 1,000 bottles of lubricant.
That is so disgusting.
Sorry. I'm not even laughing at this.
1,000 baby oils and lubes is disgusting.
Is the baby oil even the
A
right?
lubricant. No,
Yeah.
that's a
That's
recipe
not
for
even the
thrush.
preferred one. He's got so
That's a
much
recipe
money.
for that's a recipe for
He's
thrush.
got so much money, right?
Do you know what's
Get the
mad
proper
as
ones.
well? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. But it's the fact that his team go and lay out the rooms before he gets there.
For real, you know?
So yeah, so they basically that's why they got so much baby oil.
That is crazy. So whatever position he is, he can just reach.
Not just him. Why are you saying him?
Oh, yeah.
It's
No, because
Yeah,
he
that's true.
it's gonna be about just for him to squeeze the baby all over everybody. No, bro. No, bro.
You're so annoying.
Rooms,
Why'd
all
you
the
say
rooms
that?
are
That
stocked
scream all
up.
over everybody.
Come on, bro.
Do you know what's so funny? Yeah. The U.S. attorney, when he was saying it, was disgusting. He looks so disappointed as he's doing his statement. He looks so disappointed. But he's bringing like everybody with him though.
They've got video. And
Yeah, they've got
pictures
videos.
of
Yeah.
the freak-offs.
Yeah. And everybody that's
So
in there.
Everybody in
Do you
there
know what Charlamagne
is
said?
gonna be recalled.
Charlamagne said, if you ever got naked with Diddy, half naked with Diddy, he said you're getting called up.
Oh
It's
man.
horrible. It's actually horrible. Like, it's very sick.
And everyone's gonna snitch on him.
But I don't think it's gonna. I think. Should we do our theories tomorrow?
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah. Well, if he's here tomorrow.
Well, federal agents had also found 3 semi-automatic rifles with the face serial numbers and a drum magazine. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilio, said that the defense team had already launched an appeal against the judge's bail decision with a hearing set for Wednesday. Hence, it's the same. We'll find out more information tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Next headline, trigger warning. And a 26-year-old man accused of killing the wife and 2 daughters of a BBC racing commentator, John Hunt, in a crossbow attack has appeared in court. Kyle Clifford was remanded in custody at Westminster Magistrates Court and then at the Royal Courts of Justice on Tuesday afternoon following the incident in Bushey, Hertfordshire on the 9th of July. Louise Hunt, 25, and her sister Hannah, 28, had been shot with a crossbow, and their mother Carol Hunt, 61, had been stabbed with a knife and suffered multiple injuries. He has been under arrest since July 10th, but people were unable to speak to him while he received treatment for an injury in hospital. He has been charged with 3 counts of murder, false imprisonment, and 2 counts of possession of offensive weapons. The 26-year-old also faces 2 counts of possession of an offensive weapon, one a 10-inch butcher's knife, and the other a compound crossbow. He faces a final count of false imprisonment, which alleges that he assaulted and unlawfully and injuriously imprisoned Louise Hunt and detained her against her will. The date has not been set for his trial because of inquiries being made about a suitable court for him to be tried in as a wheelchair user. What? Anyway, and the last headline, plans to ban traffic from part of London's Oxford Street have been announced by Sadiq Khan. He's back doing foolishness. But the local council is opposed to the scheme. Mr. Khan wants to pedestrianise a 0.7 mile stretch between Oxford Circus and Marble Arch, with the potential for further changes towards Tottenham Court Road.
I just want to stop driving.
This
And
guy.
I'm not going to stop.
This guy.
Even if I have to drive in my back garden, I would not be stopped.
The mayor's plans are part of a wider regeneration project, which is supported by the government, with Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner claiming that it will give the popular shopping district the boost it needs. It will be up to Angela Rayner, in her role as the Secretary of State of Housing, Communities and Local Government, to establish a new mayoral development corporation, which will provide planning powers for Mr. Khan's plans to go ahead. This request can only be made following a statutory period of consultation and consideration by the London Assembly. The project is expected to cost around £150 million, with City Hall officials hoping it could be paid by a combination of local businesses, new revenue streams and private funders. Restrictions already in place mean between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. vehicular access to parts of Oxford Street is limited to taxis and buses, except on Sundays. And that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right, people. Thank you for tuning in, of course. Today we spoke about, there was a lot of trigger warnings today, to be fair.
There's a lot of
man.
deviancy in the streets, child.
It's a damn shame. We spoke about the 71-year-old man that was accused of drugging his wife to sleep and recruiting dozens of men to abuse her. He's admitted all the charges against him. Hezbollah, of course, blames Israel after the page explosions injured thousands in Lebanon.
Did you hear about that? Did you read about that?
Briefly.
All right. So basically, what had happened was a bunch of pages were intercepted by Israel. This is the accusation, right? And they basically put some explosive devices just next to the battery and then close it back up and then let the packages go on its way because obviously it was going to Hezbollah. And all of them at 3 p.m., I believe, got a little message. And obviously they looked at the pages and there was a little pause between getting a message and then it going off, because essentially when you get a message, you put it up and you put it to your face. Do you understand? And then when it is, I don't know why I'm laughing. It then exploded, bow, all at the same time. And you're seeing videos dropping incrementally. Maybe in a grocery store, an office, a train station, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know if they have trains in that place. But all these places of these things just exploding.
Mad.
And obviously they're blaming Israel because Israel's been saying, hey, we're going to get you back, blah, 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 blah. But just imagine you're able to have that type of intelligence to intercept it, switch out the pages, not switch them out, but add stuff to the pages, and then make sure that it can be remote detonated, and then send a message at the same time to everybody, and then bang, you could take out bare them.
100%.
Just imagine they're able to do that. What else are they able to do?
But Brent, is that what is the consensus now?
That is Israel?
No. That's how they did it. Reason why I'm saying that is because I was listening to the CIA guy on LBC, basically saying he's not ruling out that Israel just had some new technology to just target the lithium battery itself. So they didn't actually intercept anything, but they did something to just target the lithium battery. And so if that's the case, anyone who's got a lithium battery around the world, whatever sort of contraption they're using, it's going to be, dashing it. That's what he's saying. He doesn't rule it out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think obviously as things progress, more information will come out. But as of late, that's what it is, as opposed to the lithium batteries. Yeah. But
That's crazy.
I think you've heard cases of Apple phones going pew because of overheating and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a trigger in the lithium battery, but I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Or maybe we won't, depending on who's gatekeeping in that.
It's a crazy time, man. Also, we spoke about buffer zones outside of abortion clinics. Those are due to come into effect at the end of October. We spoke about Al-Qaeda being behind a morning attack in Mali. It's a damn shame. But hopefully our brothers and sisters over there can handle that. We spoke about the Princess of Wales being featured in court circulars after holding a meeting at Windsor Castle about an issue in the past and this and the third. But now she's basically, for the first time, on the official record of royal events since her cancer treatment ended. So obviously she's going to be back in full force. Obviously we spoke about Diddy being denied bail, and we're going to give you more information on that tomorrow. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And obviously,
breaking news, apparently, thank you very much. Chijoke, the legend, is it Toto Scilacci?
oh man,
He's at 59. He used to be a goal machine.
yes, wow,
Colon cancer. People, go check your colons.
yeah, for real, man.
Do a health MOT, just your full body, man. Because
See, this is not to sound some type of way, but this is why you need private healthcare, because you can't go to your GP and just say, "Oh, I just need."
a full health.
Yeah,
MOT.
you can't even just ask. Just do my bloods so I can see everything. They just don't do it.
Well, if you cry, it does help. Activate them tears, child. But yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I try to. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to sort out my private insurance again. Let's talk about you can't anything that you've had. Basically, they can't cover anything that I've had in the last 2 years for the next 3 years.
insane.
Even my allergies. I said, I don't know what allergy I don't have yet if I haven't come across it. I think it's a scam. I think that's such a scam thing to do. So I just said, don't worry, whatever. I said, I'll call you back. I haven't called him back since.
That's why when you're in good health, is the best time to do it, so you can get it cheaper as well.
It's annoying.
And also, so you don't have to go through that sort of stuff, man. It's a damn shame. But yes.
All right. Don't forget, people, www.thenewblack.com/events. RSVP for our shebeens on the 27th of September at the Ned. Make sure and dress presentable. And if you want to bring along a friend, please, they also have to RSVP. So send them the link and get them to RSVP. And that is it. Obviously, today's short because I had to basically go to Spotify, innit? So we will catch up tomorrow and we will tell you everything you need to know about TD and the oil. And
rotation.
we will read the we have a guest, and we have a guest host, and we have our favorite coming in tomorrow. And we will read out the dilemma that was sent through yesterday that we didn't get to.
We'll have a longer show tomorrow, child.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, not too long.
No, don't do that. We'll
what?
just have a show tomorrow.
No, we'll have a longer show than we had today.
Yes, we will.
So that's 2 hours tomorrow. Today was 1.5. Tomorrow's 2.
There you go.
There we go. All right, people. Bye.
Peace.
Later.